What if Deku was Gecko Moria from One Piece? We start this part off actually when he is 4 years old. Now, he's going to be older than the original canon in this universe, so keep that in mind. As he would go to the Quark doctor as, do we have the Midoriyas? As, of course, they would respond, yeah, we're here, as they go towards the back. As the doctor just, puts his finger on his head. Listen, young man, I'm going to put my finger on my head. I can visualize and see your Quark by just placing my finger on your head. As he would, put his finger on his head, and all he would really see is shadow. Just a complete shadow of Gecko Moria, which is Deku as his age. So just basically a shadow of Deku. As the doctor gets out, it's really hard to speculate what your Quark is, young lad. As Inko asks, what is his Quark? As Deku's excited that he has a Quark, well, it's something to do with shadows, but not sure when it will really awaken. As this confuses Inko and young Izuku. What do you mean, Doctor? It seems the Quark has something to do with shadows, but it seems to technically not do anything, or it may just be dormant. I cannot say for 100% certainty. But it does have something to do with his shadow. Or shadows. I am not completely sure myself. So I will just mark his Quark as shadow, and that's what we'll go with. As Deku's excited, he got a Quark. Now, here comes the ridicule of this What If series. Now, Deku is, 18 when he gets to when we get to 18 is going to be his age. So he's like 3 years older than Bakugo. So, of course, people would ridicule him because Deku cannot really show off his Quark. He doesn't even know how his Quark works. Like, he can move his shadow around a bit, but that's pretty much all Deku can do for the most part, as he doesn't really know how to control his Quark. As we would go on through the years, as he would still be admiring the heroes. As he would know of the hero Nana Shimura, because he's a little bit older, he would know some of the older heroes like Nana Shimura, which he was 6 when she was probably last on TV. So he does know of the previous number 1 hero, Nana Shimura. They didn't really go a lot onto her funeral or after her death, so Deku doesn't really know anything, but he does remember one thing: the name of the cemetery she was buried at. That will be note for later. As, of course, the years would go by as Izuku was ridiculed for his pretty much weak-based Quark, and when he signed up for UA, people just laughed at him. And in this universe, he actually attempted to take the entrance exam, but due to his Quark and not really knowing how to use it, he really didn't get enough points. Now, he managed to score some points using his brain, like he used a melee weapon, and he was able to use his shadow to immobilize a person, but he didn't have very good control, so he could pull his shadow hands out of the shadow and grab the robot, but they weren't powerful at all. This is like when he's trying to get used to his power. But of course, unfortunately, he did not make it into UA, as he would spend probably the next 2 years just working odd jobs and all that, trying to live on his own, as he just watched the sports festival, realize that all he missed out on, the ridicule. As we see Deku watching the TV, as he's now, 18? Why? Why does everyone get to sit around and have a fun time while I'm here making ends meet? All because I have a weak quirk, people ridicule me. As Deku is out for a walk, as he noticed some thug, well, terrorizing some person, as he would go on, "Oh, excuse me, sir, but what seems to be the problem?" "None of your business, now get out of here." "I am sorry, but you seem to be, interested on this young lady right here. Now I'm going to have to ask you to leave." As the man turns around and throws a punch. And Deku, knowing at least some form of, like, martial arts, at least dodges it. As he was ridiculed and bullied at his school, so he knows how to dodge a punch. As he jumped on the ground, and he doesn't realize that he grabbed the man's shadow. As he's touching the man's shadow, as Deku looks over at the man who comes running at him again, as the young girl ran away, as he would throw a punch, as Deku would quickly just jump back, as the shadow would extend, as Deku would grab like a sharp edge of a pipe and then just try to like scratch the man that was coming towards him, but accidentally cut his shadow. As then the man would fall over unconscious, as Deku doesn't know what's going on. As he looks and sees he has the man's shadow. "What is this? What is this? Is this the man's shadow?" As then he would hear sirens. No time to explain. I better get out of here." As he would run away because at the scene, like him knocking out the villain, people might mistake the situation. As he, running off, as it starts to rain, as Deku would be running for like several minutes. What is it with us today in those hero society? Also, he imagined a younger gecko moria. That's his appearance. So he does get judged about his appearance as well. As he would get running, as he goes up some stairs, as he would trip, fall, and just end up rolling, as he rolls through the gates of a cemetery. As he would let go of the shadow, as he hit the ground face first. Ow! As he's touching his nose. As then he looks over at the ground rubbling in front of him. As then a corpse would come rising out of the ground. And before it bows to Gecko Moria Deku. "What's going on here?" As the man would speak up, having the same man's voice as the thug. "Sir, I am your servant. A zombie." As Deku would be thinking, did that man's shadow create a zombie using the corpse? Is this what the doctor meant by my power being shadows? As could I take people's shadows? As then Gecko Moria was thinking, or Gecko Moria Deku, I could really have some fun with this. I can show all those people that I'm not such a bad guy. By watching them while I become successful, while the hero society crumbles. As he would start to get the Gecko Moria laugh. As then Deku's curious. I wonder what my limit is. As then his shadow forms into an exact replica of himself. As he turns around in surprise as he falls back. Who are you? As it would just do the same motion as Deku. As he waved his hand, as the shadow does the exact same. Okay, punch myself. As the shadow would definitely just deck him in the face as he hits a grave. Ow. Noted. I can apparently use the power of my shadow to give it commands. Now wonder if I think, could they do the command? As we hear what he's thinking in his head. Destroy that wall. As the shadow would destroy the wall that was in front of it. Oh, so I can give it commands through my mind. Noted. But how much of an extent can I use the shadows? As Deku tries something, as he grabs the zombie's, the zombie and just drags the shadow out. As then he technically absorbs it. As then he gets the man's ability, like fighting skill. Ooh, so the shadows replicate their fighting skills and all that. As he then puts the shadow back into the zombie. But where am I gonna go? I can't bring you home with me. So what should I do with you? As I notice an old house near the mansion. Bingo! You'll stay there until I have a more permanent solution. As the zombie just nods before walking over there. Now, Deku would obviously go back to his house. As he sleeps for the rest of the night, as he turns on the news. As it was about this person who was being taken out of an armored car towards the courtroom. As soon as he steps out, he simply just vanishes into dust. As Deku was looking at the screen. So that's what happens when they don't have their shadow. Well, it doesn't matter. After all, he was just some criminal. So, what should I do now? Wait a minute. I wonder how old the corpse can be for me to reanimate it. And for it to be powerful, I might need a powerful shadow. Well, that will have to be some experimentation. I will also need someone to repair corpses. I guess that will have to wait for now. But they all rule the day. They all mocked Gecko Moria. As Deku was called Gecko Moria due to his appearance during a young age, so he decides to go with that as his name. As he would look around. But I'm going to need more shadows. How am I going to pull something off like this? As he starts walking back and forth through the room. As then his shadow comes out. Oh, you have an idea? Do go ahead. Tell me. As then it would form words. Break into a prison? That might work, my friend. But how am I going to get in and out of a prison? The shadow just points at itself. Oh, I see. Are you going to bring me the shadows, my dear friend? As it simply nods. But how are you going to sever them? I'm the only one that has to be in contact. I have an idea. How about this? I'll contact somebody. We'll be outside the prison walls. You bring me the shadow from inside. I don't care if it does physical harm to the person, as long as you bring the shadow to me. I will sever the shadow, and I will have it stored away. For safekeeping, of course. She. Now, shall we get to the plan? As the Gecko Moria shadow just gives up the thumbs up. I knew you would like it. Now let's get straight to work. We have no time to waste. After all, crime is afoot all the time, you know. And we shall, by the end of the year. And I'll say it's like a new year. We'll lower the crime rates for sure. And the name Gecko Moria will be spread all throughout Japan. She. As, well, they do their plan, as Gecko Moria is in the back of a van, as the driver up front's like, alright, so what am I getting paid for this? Don't worry, my friend, you will get paid in due time. But first, we must wait for my little friend to show up. You only have to get me out of here when I say so. If you want an advance payment, check in the glove box. As the man looks in the glove box, there's a stack of cash. You can hire me anytime, Mr. Gecko Moria. After all, I don't get paid like this. As it was just some driver who would drive anybody. Ah, no problems, my friend. As long as you drive me to the places I need to, there shall be no complaints. And I do love that policy of yours, not giving any information about your passengers. Of course. You could be a villain, hero, an undercover agent. I wouldn't care. As long as I get paid. Oh, don't worry. There'll be more where that came from in due time, my friend. As his shadow would come back with, 3 prisoners. And if you're asking, does it hurt the prisoners when the shadow is, severed? They fall unconscious for the most part. As Gecko Moria grabs some scissors. As he cuts the 3 shadows. Aha! As he then just opens a box and puts them in there. Good. 3 shadows waiting to be put into corpses. He says that in his mind so the driver doesn't hear. Alright, can you get me any more? Possibly a powerful shadow. As Gecko Moria Shao says no. No, why not? Ah, you probably have a range, don't you? As it nods. I'm guessing you went to the nearest cell near us to grab the shadows of that cell. We'd need to be in the prison otherwise. You know what? We'll go get some regular thugs on the street. Alright, man, take us to da-da-da cemetery. Make it stat and I'll give you an advance payment for the next job I have you do. Right away, Gecko Moria, sir. As he drives to the cemetery, as Gecko Moria gets off. Very good. As he hands him a stack of cash. Ah, well, here I see. You pay right up front, Gecko Moria. If you're wondering how Deku got this cash, as he had done a little bit of investigating on some villain hideouts and may or may not have stolen their safe of money. Yeah. As we see Deku going towards the graveyard. Alright, who should I pick? As he's looking at all the tombstones. Can't pick one over 100 years old. They're most likely nothing but bones by now. As then he looks over at one that states about 2 years ago. You'll do. As he puts the shadow in there, as it's someone wearing really like a suit outfit. Of course, there's like bits of flesh and all that with stitches. An agent, I see. Maybe a security guard, bodyguard, by the looks of it. Listen here. As he had put the shadow in it. Yes, master. I need you to do a little bit of a favor for me. As he nods. Now, I know you cannot just go out willy-nilly out into public. You'll be noticed by that appearance. As the man, you mean this appearance, sir? As he then just changes like he would look in what he would have looked like if he was alive. How did you do that? Apparently, I'm able to use the ability of the person that you'd stolen my shadow from. As Gecko Moria and his shadow look at each other. She. It seems we are able to take the corks along with the person. What a wonderful idea. And a very interesting discovery. This will make stealing shadows more worth it. But first, I'm going to need a butler. I'm going to need someone to prepare stuff while I'm out doing vigilante work for the most part. As he would go around and just put the other 2 shadows in just 2 random corpses. Alright. As he looks at his show, now what should we do? As the shadow makes the word vigilante work. Villain work. What? Well, we're gonna be definitely deemed villains by the society when they see us. But for now, I suppose we can do vigilante work. That can't hurt. As Gecko Moria and Shao agree. Alright. Agent? I'm going to need to give you a name. But for now, you're going to be Agent 205. That will do. Yes, sir. Follow me. As they would go off and just walking around, as Gecko Moria would just be in discreet clothing, not to get discovered, staying low-key. You brought that light as requested, correct? As he would bring out, like, the spotlight. Yes, sir. Good. As then he would walk into an alleyway where there obviously would be, like, a few thugs who try to break into a store. May I ask what you people are doing at this store? We're just trying to bust in here to rob it. Interesting. Maybe I can help out with that. As then a shadow-like bat appears as it simply just breaks the doorknob. Hey, thanks. As then a light would just pierce in their eyes. Ah! As Gekomori's shadow stretched out and grabbed all the, thug shadows and pulled it towards Gecko Moria. I must say, y'all are easy to fool. As they all look up, it's seeing Gecko Moria. Deku. He is pretty tall in this, so not Gecko Moria's height, not yet. As they see a bunch of scissors as they see their shadows as he cuts them. As they all fall unconscious. Yeah, the cops should be able to arrive and arrest you soon. Agent 205, let's get these shadows back to base. As, of course, they would leave the crime scene. Also, when he broke the doorknob, it also set off the security alarm for the store. So the police are on their way. As Deku would get back, as he would sit on like a couch, as he decided to live in the old building where his zombies are. I love when plans come together, but I need a doctor for these corpses. Otherwise, this will all be useless. As he would turn on the TV, then he would hear something about a doctor. A doctor that works on corpses. Interesting. He's said to go to jail for little experimentation on corpses. As he would snap, zombies? As then, I would say he's about 6 zombies. As they come over. Yes, Gecko Moria. I need you to retrieve this doctor. He'll be useful for my future plans. Do I make myself clear? Yes, master. Now get to it, chop chop. I don't have all day, you know. As the zombies would leave. As then his shadow would pop out. What is it? As it then would just, make words. As it would say, number 1 hero. What, you think he's going to be a problem? Do you want me to steal his shadow too? Is that what you want, shadow me? Don't worry, don't worry. If the heroes get in our way, I'll take their shadows too. After all, they're the ones that have been ridiculing me, after all, for my appearance. When the rumors spread of my appearance, that a hero spread online, I had basically no chance to getting a job. I got lucky to get the one I had at the moment. But this is a way better job now that I know how to use my power. But, what point are you getting at here? Please, Shadow, do explain. As the Shadow would then say words. Remember. Remember what? Anyway, I'll figure that out later. I'm going to bed. And that is the end of part 1 of What If Deku Was Gecko Moria. Make sure to like and subscribe if you liked it.